Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen What's Going On video. We summarise the updates from last week and look at what's planned for this week, for the week ending the 13th of August 2023. So, last week in Star Citizen, the Squadron 42 and Persistent Universe monthly report for Star Citizen had a lot of interesting updates. They launched those. I have a video looking at each of those in a lot of detail. Highlight-wise, for Squadron 42, there was a lot of talk about features and scenes moving into a shippable, beta, and finalized state. They're using more and more of that language in the monthly reports for Squadron 42. It looks like they're moving into finishing off a lot of parts for Episode 1. Obviously, it's more and more complete every month, but it's looking like certain bits are appropriate for vertical slices, or yeah, maybe they are trying to genuinely finish this off and get it in our hands within the next year or so, but we'll have to wait and see. The Persistent Universe report had a load of new ships, vehicles, and variants being worked on. The Polaris is making progress, but the big thing there was skill progression. So that's the hot topic. Players will get better by doing certain tasks and repeating them. So you lift heavy things, then you'll be able to pick up boxes and run with them faster and longer. Do a load of takedowns, like sneaky ones, and you'll get more experience to that and be able to do them faster. We don't know the extent of the upper limits of how good you can get at something, nor all the things that you can get better at by doing them repeatedly. So this isn't just your skill as a player, this is stats that effectively build up the more you play. Could it be you get G-force resistance or tougher? When we respawn from a clone, will that clone be as buff as we were, or do we have to build ourselves up again? I'm interested to see where this goes. It is different from what Cloud Imperium had originally said about Star Citizen, where there wouldn't be anything like that, and it would all be down to your own personal skill. However, this stuff might be quite minor or add a lot of flavour. Star Citizen is in constant flux with its development, so I'm interested to see where it goes. I do think that Cloud Imperium will listen if it's implemented and they use it and it's not a good idea, so sort of bear that in mind. Inside Star Citizen had Rastar being talked about, so there's updates coming to the bunkers and the underground facilities in Alpha 3.20. The Rastar tool allows them to make more variants and update these areas and many more points of interest to look more unique and interesting. The show focused on externals of these structures rather than the internals of the facilities, so we don't know if we're going to see an interior update. Hopefully we will, and I'm expecting one. Probably expect that in another show. Star Citizen Live, they made a functional Medibox and kit for storing your Meditools. The show went through the sort of 3D process for creating props and interactables. It was a cool show of the processes behind making things like this. They also showed a toolkit that the dev had previously done and had physicalized all the items in the toolkit with all the socket wrench attachments and everything individually, so you could take them out, put them back in, they all fitted in a slot. It's fully physicalized, really like that. Maybe a little bit too much, but maybe not for Star Citizen. Maybe this is exactly the sort of thing that people want. The newsletter sneak peek from last week looked like a cairn or grave or shrine made of scrap. Probably some bits that we're going to see in Pyro in the future. August, sub promos. So, if you are an RSI voluntary subscriber, you get some free stuff. The ship of the month for this month is the Origin 350R. You'll be able to use that ship throughout the month and purchase it with some extras. This month's flare is racing jackets. So RSI subs get a load of these racing jackets. There's an Origin one for standard Centurion subs. You get that one, and a MISC one for Imperators, and the Murray Cup one is available on the subscriber store. All of this is going to be earnable in-game in the future as well, though. There's roughly a 3-month exclusivity period before it's put into the loot pool, so bear that in mind. Alpha 3.20 is still in EVOCATI. Cloud Imperium are doing various extended testing with that build currently. About a month ago, Cloud Imperium said 3.20 would be going to Wave 1 PTU in the near future. Obviously, we're not in the near future yet. It's not quite ready, but soonish, I would expect to see more on 3.20. So what's happening this week in Star Citizen? The ship Showdown is now on, so there's a cool little promo video for that. CIG said, we're kicking off the Ultimate in Vesselmania with this year's ship Showdown, who will become the Ultimate Champion of 2953 in the most important popularity event of the year. But first, it's time for our flyable and drivable craft to survive Phase 1 and get into the top 16. Otherwise, the dream of eternal glory will be crushed before it begins. To avoid early termination, mission, your favourite, needs your support, creativity and cheering. Check out the Ship Showdown page for more details and your chance to win a spaceship. Phase 1 will be running until the 21st of August. It's all about spotlighting your favourite vehicle by sharing original content to the community hub or Twitter with hashtags SC Ship Showdown and Star Citizen. This can be an original song or something physically crafted, an epic in-game or real-life shot, a trailer, a music video. You can even take it a step further and construct the ship in real life if you're up to the challenge. To maximise your favourites' chances of advancing to Phase 2 and the top 16, upvote, like and reshare any content on the vessel you want to win. We don't know exactly how CIG pick the top 16 because there are obviously variants involved with a lot of this stuff. They look at some bits, do a little bit of metrics and do some voodoo magic and then choose the top 16 from that and then put them into categories so that they face off against similar ships to start with, or ones within a certain sort of role is typically that they like to do. So in Phase 2, once they get down to the Elite 8 of the ships, they will have a free fly where you can test all those ships for free, and I believe obviously people typically will be able to play Star Citizen for free. That's going to start the 31st of August. The final 4 ships, they get a special paint option and in-game poster that will be available typically around the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo in November, and the ship or vehicle that makes the top 1 spot will be available to free fly for a month after the competition ends as well. For the rest of the week, later Tuesday, Narrative are putting out Jerry Half-Told History, so it's a cool little narrative post there. Wednesday has a roadmap update. Hopefully, this will give us some more features for Alpha 3.20. They're going to be there, and confirming others that we already know about, and potentially will expand out the roadmap tracker for other work later in this year. Thursdays, Inside Star Citizen looks at the VFX department, their role in development, and an update on their latest work. Hopefully, we're going to see some ship and environment work that's pretty cool, and not too much is obscured for CitizenCon, because we're on the road to CitizenCon at the moment. It does mean we get a bit of diminished development info and cool stuff in Inside Star Citizen typically, but there's lots of other stuff they can show us, so let's sort of wait and see what exactly we're getting there. Friday, Star Citizen Live. Elliot Maltby from the mission features team is going to take us through the mission making process. Now, I would expect this to actually have some pretty juicy, tangible information on Star Citizen's missions and features that are coming to 3.20 and later, things that are being worked on now. Yeah, development info abound there, probably. That's at 3 PM UTC on the Star Citizen Twitch channel. Also, Elliot, I love him. He's a great chap. I was talking to him at length at the last Bar Citizen I went to, and I was extremely inebriated. He's a good chap, and the pictures I see of us, I'm a lot tubbier than I remember. Also, CIG want you to remember that you have until Friday, 7 AM UTC to participate in the 2953 Arlington Gang screenshot competition to potentially win a beefy battleship. So, this was part of the mission spotlight. Cloud Imperium are going to be spotlighting different missions and chains of missions and how to do them, how to get them. The Arlington Gang one, you can get your bounty hunting tracking permit, and then you can go and talk to Miles Eckhart and basically start this chain of the Arlington Gang missions, which get progressively harder and harder, and eventually have you fighting in Idris, which is pretty cool, so you will probably want to bring some friends. There is something missing, though. Cloud Imperium Games have promised us a post-mortem report on 3.18, 3.19, but it's currently AFK, away from keyboard. We don't know when it's going to turn up, but I am looking forward to it, as it will outline problems and solutions for issues that we've had in the first half of the year with Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. 3.18, there was so many problems with stability and accessibility. Obviously, persistent entity streaming was the major cause of that, and 3.19.1 that we have now is significantly better, but there are still solutions and problems and things that Cloud Imperium need to deal with for 3.20 and onwards, and yeah, these post-mortem reports do give us a good indication of what Cloud Imperium are working on for the next builds, and give us some deeper development information and the trials and tribulations of a particular patch set. This should be coming out soon, but we don't know when. Boom, that's it for your update today. When are you expecting that post-mortem to come out? Will it be by the end of the month, hopefully? Or are we just expecting it to be once they've released 3.20 and they'll go, well, actually, now we can release the post-mortem for the last couple of patches? What are you hoping to see in the roadmap update? Do you like to watch the Star Citizen lives, especially when they're more tangible, or do you prefer to watch summaries of them? What is your favourite ship? Who do you think is going to win the ship showdown? Could the Fury, potentially, or the Vulture have a place this year? Are you looking forward to Alpha 3.20 going to First Wave PTU? And when do you think we're going to see that? What did you think about the idea about skill progression in Star Citizen's persistent universe? Do you think it's a terrible idea? Do you think it might add some flavour? What are CIG doing? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Are we alone in the universe? The truth is out there, but what if aliens visit Earth, but they're like monsters, and all they do is look through your internet history, judging you, laughing at you with all their alien friends, watching your every move live, and then they send like 1 million ads to you about alien products that you don't want, like those shoes and socks that have a gap between your big toes. No one needs that. But what you do need is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, which helps you prevent that happening from the more real threat of humans doing the same. It encrypts your internet connection, hides your IP address and location, it has an inbuilt ad blocker, and also helps you gain access to region-based content. You should go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and get a big old discount. You can also click the links below. Every month, we have a ship giveaway. For August, it's for a Crusader Mercury Star Runner with lifetime insurance. This medium-sized, well-armed cargo and data hauler is great for trying out a huge range of what Star Citizen has to offer, a perfect mission runner ship. To be in for a chance of winning, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the description below. There are some amazing people that help support the channel by clicking on the join button under my videos and becoming a channel member or becoming a Patreon with the links below. That helps keep the channel going and producing daily content. Please consider joining their ranks, but commenting, liking, subscribing, that all massively helps too. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the verse.